I'm a doer. And so I believe I'm up to the task. I believe our people are up to the task of rescuing the country. And we'll do it in the remaining 2 years. The last 2 will be a bonus. We'll have fun and party, but these 2 years are critical. Critical because the first 12 months were about learning. A system that I found in place that I did not create, that I critiqued. Come in, and you have to work with it and work through it. And others are screaming at you, shouting, fire everybody. It's a very tempting approach, but one that will fail spectacularly. First, because from a practical point of view, you remove this one, you bring a new person. How long does it take for the person to be onboarded and to acclimatize and learn the ropes and understand what's happening? About 2 years. And in those 2 years, what's happening? To a country that is in crisis. So it doesn't even make practical sense at all. It's not even a question whether the president likes this or doesn't like that. It's about a pragmatic approach to real problems, not something academic. Practical truth, as Aristotle says, there's the theoretical truth and the practical truth. What does the practical truth dictate? You have to learn and leverage as you go and make these things work. And that's what I chose to do. It is not a suggestion that there are no problems, there's no dysfunctionality. The system is dysfunctional, but you have to make it work as best you can, even as you reform it. And now, the real problem, those that are there, beholden to this dysfunctional system with its rigid rules, it has become ingrained in them. When you want to buy something, there are rules, processes, and you can tell. The loyalty to these processes is not because they are efficient or cost-effective. No, it is because they are wired, configured for self-benefit. That's corruption. The tender system in our country is an inherently corrupt system. Make no mistake about it. And sometimes the corruption is not even at the very top, it's somewhere in the middle. These are the folks who design the ITT. You want to buy this glass, they will describe something and go and tell their friend, put a little dimple on it, which they don't tell anybody else. And all the manufacturers, no, it's a glass, so we use it for what? For drinking and whatever else. What would the dimple add to the functional efficacy of this thing? Nothing. It's actually a waste of time and money. But they'll tell their friend, no, put a dimple. And then in the ITT, the glass must come with a dimple at this particular, and because it is that friend that must win the tender at a huge price. And there are benefits behind the scenes. This is what the process is wired to do. So when you come in and you say, I don't want this system, I'm stopping it, there's a hue and cry, even from the press. It's shocking. Sometimes it's a total shock. Look at this. The country has invested in training and educating these people. They can't think critically. They run with speculations and propaganda that doesn't make sense. This week it is this, next week it is something that is the exact opposite of that said by the same person who was peddling that last week. What kind of society is this? So, then I call all of the public officers and say, come here. Sat with them, all the procurement officers. Where do you get this thing about this being the only method of procurement for government? Now it's in the law. Which law? Point me to the law. I say, right. The law. I wait for it. Maybe. So I take them to the law and I say, the law gives you 15 enumerated in the law here. 15 methods of procurement, of which this one that you are so beholden to is but just one. How about these others? No explanation. And I tell them, the 15th one actually says, and any other which the minister may from time to time determine. Why are you stuck with this one that hasn't worked and that delays procurement? Nobody can explain. It's because the force of habit and whatever else. So I've said, no tender. And others are saying, he wants to steal government money. No, I don't work like that. There's no way. But at any rate, we also have a forensic audit that is going on, whose outcomes will be brutal and devastating, I can tell you. Anybody who has stolen anything from the government must start running now. It is vicious, it is serious. It is a process that is not controlled by me. Experts, crack experts who have the skills and the expertise to identify the problems and to trace where the assets have gone. Anybody who has had anything untoward to do with government resources must know that the most stunning moment of comeuppance is around the corner. And we took this approach so that it doesn't become a political witch hunt. Nobody says, well, they persecuted him when he was in the opposition, now it's payback time. There's no payback. Objective, scientific, proper, professional process that determines what happened. And we're not doing it to punish anybody, we're doing it in order to correct and to lay down some bright lines about not only those who were there before, but those who are there now, and those who will come in the future. Now they know there will be a forensic audit. If you steal, you embezzle, you go to jail. It's as easy as that. Doesn't matter who you are. So those who scream and wail about, this government is corrupt, no. This is the regime that brought in the forensic audit. We didn't bring it for anybody, we brought it for the government so that we can account fully. And this is what the country is going through. So towards the end of this year, I think the report will come. And we will begin the whole process of seeking to recover these assets. These guys were saying, look, the country may actually be assisted immensely once it recovers and claws back all the resources. And they were saying, as we are digging, it's so scary. We get scared ourselves. We want to stop. we freak out. We pull this string and there's a hole. But it's not for anybody. Not a witch hunt. It's so that there is full accountability. And this is what the country has to do. So that for generations that are yet to come, it is known that there will be no leader who will come and turn public resources into his private chest. No. And work. So these are the realities. And for you, those of you who are in the diaspora, I'm sharing these things with you because one of the things that I've become aware of acutely is the lack of skills. You see, we need specialized cutting